Hello, greetings. So I've already done this verse back to Surah Nur, Ayat 33. This is heavy for me. I've already done it some time back on Facebook live stream, and record a video and all this. Well, it's easy. I can pause here. Sometimes I make the mistake, don't see a carelessness or something. I'm not very alert. And it's not paused and it goes on. Sometimes when I'm talking, it's not on, so I'm just checking. Yes, it is on, my video, which I will be uploading on YouTube and Facebook. For my group also, Understanding Shia Islam on Facebook and some pages. So this is tough. It's still tough. Still. I've already tried to do justice to this verse, Surah Nur Ayat 33. And let those who do not find means to marry keep chaste. Now I come to the Shia commentary, anything hadith, from the Imams, Shia Imams, 12 Imams. It's all recorded, printed here. Multilingual Quran. This is multilingual Quran. Quran.al-islam.org. So I have Aqa Puya's and M.A. Ali's English commentary. So they've all taken, this is a Shia site. They've all taken it from the Imams, the truthful progeny of Rasullillah. So the last audio I made, you can ponder over it. Whoever is interested in the truth seeking, even if it, there's a verse in the Quran, even if it be against ourselves, our parents, poor or rich, miskin or the rich. Miskin is like poor or weak, like that. But this one, here it means poor in the sense that financially poor. So, do you see, there was a climax in the end and it wasn't coming out properly. So, do you see this? Let those who find not the wherewithal. This is Yusuf Ali. Pictorial is here and Chakra is here. So I'll take the most easy translation of this verse 33 of Surah Nur. And I've got the previous verse here too. Marry those among you who are single or the virtuous ones among yourselves, male or female. If they are in poverty, Allah will give them means out of His grace. For Allah encompasseth all, and He knoweth all things. Ayama, plural of ayim, single. Sorry, here means don't know why my Arabic is like this. I'm really bad at English language. Here means anyone not in the bond of wedlock, whether unmarried or lawfully divorced or widowed. The choice of the spouse should not be influenced by beauty or wealth. Surah Ahzab Ayat, even if their beauty pleased thee, that was for Rasullillah. I'm catching Rasullillah and trying to open the eyes of if I dare to say this, Shia ulamas, 1400 years have passed, and my Shias. Permissive means and living together by avoiding the discipline of matrimony. 2 rakat prayed married person. Rasullillah saying is here, and marry those, and before that, and say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty, and that they should not display their beauty and ornaments. Verse 31. I don't think Rasulullah was quite... Yeah, that's why this verse came up. Because in Surah Ahzab we are told that even if their beauty pleased thee not, now you're not allowed to get married, full-fledged marriages, but what your right hands possess, what the Shias, my Shias say. So this is mostly for the Shias who are seeking the truth still. So in our religion, in their religion. But I will be cornering you, remember, you will be cornered. Trapped, it's a kind of a trapping, but it's a good trapping. The truth will come out. And not as I see it, or not as you see it, but as it is in these verses. As it is. And we will be analyzing, examining, as it is. Really, I don't mean to put my prejudices into it or anything, agendas, or forcefully. I would like you to come out of this, and myself, this religion, this cult. And Mary said, so 31, let me see, verse 31. And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty. So then, the Shias and the Sunnis will flash this at me, this verse also. Guard their modesty, that they should not display their beauty and ornaments except what must ordinarily appear thereof. So why are you saying there? And I'm not the one saying it. Why are you saying to us there? The Surah Nur, Ayat, it's the same Surah, but Ayat 33 you're saying. Yes, I'm saying this because God here mentions there's a better way now. It took me some time, I don't know how many months. I've been on this Surah Nur on Livestream Facebook. Keep yourselves chaste, and let those who cannot find a match, that's Victor, and let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste. Keep chaste. Here it says keep chaste until Allah makes them free from want out of His grace. This part, you would say this is a general part. So why in this general part relating to all the slave, men, women, believers, right, Muslims, and whoever you may include in this, keep chaste, whoever God, Allah, through the Sunni hadiths, whatever is explained, whoever are included in this, let those. And if you look at the previous verses, then maybe we can make out what those are. Let those. And say to the believing women that they should lower their gaze. So it's for the believing women. And it's also say to the believing men that they cast down their looks. So all these included. If there's no sin in you that you enter uninhabited houses. Okay, but if you do not find any other, I'm just looking who's included in this. Yeah, so it starts from here. I think believing women, believing men first, believing women who lower to lower, verse 30, say to the believing men that they should lower their gaze and guard their modesty. That will make for greater purity for them. And Allah is well acquainted with all that they do. Let's see if Allah, Akapuya, has anything to say about this, about men. Salima and Maimuna not to stay in the company of even a blind man. Holy Prophet advised his wives, Salima and Maimuna not to stay in the company of even a blind man like Abdullah. Oh, his father's. Okay, because of the same reason Bibi Fatima had given to her father. So you can read the whole hadith here, the whole explanation. So what was I seeking for? Say to the believing men, is it compulsory, or is mustab, or is this preferable? Is it good? Sense perceptions give rise to unrestricted and completely bans every form of nudity. Yeah, nudity is banned, but women, it's more. Anyways, for men, is it preferable that they should? And it's not like compulsory for men to lower their gazes. Whether what some ulama say about this. These verses contain the legislation regarding modesty in dress. Akapuyana says, and discipline and intermingling of sexes for both men and women. Women are not allowed to display their parts of body, adorned or not, to men except those mentioned in verse 31. They have to cover their bodies except face, hands, from the wrist, and feet including ankles. But they should not be adorned as to stimulate sexual desire when they go out of their homes. There's no restriction on them if they have to come out from their houses. There is no on them if in any event what the Muslim women are doing under the influence of Western civilization is against the tenets of Islam. So it doesn't, I don't know whether I've missed it, whether it's compulsory for men to lower their gazes, whether this is a command. Say to the believing men that they cast down their looks and guard their private parts. That is pure for them. So powerful. Sorry, I'm not going to go. This is Abdullah bin Maktoum, a blind companion of the Holy Prophet, came to meet him at his daughter's house. Bibi Fatima immediately went inside her room. Afterwards, she told her father that she went away because, although Abdullah was a blind man, she was not. So, earlier in a situation, the Holy Prophet had advised his wives. This means Bibi doesn't trust herself. So you know that blind man came to him, probably, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Oh, sorry, excuse me. It's kind of now not making sense. It's getting this cult. I'm trying to, it's coming out. I'm coming out of. And so back to Surah. So yes, who are these women? No, who are these? And let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste until find the means to marry, keep chaste. Sorry. Yeah, men and women included, believing men and women, until Allah makes them free from want out of His grace. Let me just make sure the previous. Marry those among you who are single, or the virtuous ones among yourselves, male or female. If they are in poverty, Allah will give them means out of His grace. For Allah encompasseth all, and He knoweth all things. This was Yusuf Ali. Pictures translation is, and marry such of you as are solitary, and the pious of your slaves, and maidservants. And the pious of your slaves, and maidservants, if they be poor, Allah will enrich. And marry those, Shakir translation, verse 32. And marry those among you who are single, and those who are fit among your male slaves, and your female slaves. If they are needy, Allah will make them, those who are fit among you, who are single. Okay, Allah will make them marry them. Marry those among you who are single, and those who are fit among your male slaves and your female slaves. If they are needy, Allah will make them free from want out of His grace, and Allah is ample giving, knowing. So, back to now, just a minute please. I hope I paused this. Okay, so you'd say, so what is wrong? Because all this, keep chaste, guard your private parts for males, be modest, right? In the previous verses. What is wrong in this verse? And here God is saying, keep chaste. And let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste. Now, what is wrong I found in this is that here in the third part, he says, Zabardasti, sorry I forgot to put the word, do not compel, Zabardasti, say apni slave girls ko, don't make your slave girls prostitutes. Do not compel your slave girls to prostitution. When they desire to keep chaste, there He has said keep chaste. Allah, keep chaste. Marry, keep chaste. If you cannot marry as yet, you haven't found means, keep chaste. Keep chaste. First part. Starting. Previous verses also. Modesty, everything. Be modest. Lower your gaze for men also, women also, men also, women also. The trapping is that, this is really great, isn't it? This is very, very great. Keep chaste, keep modest, guard your private parts, don't go into adultery, don't go into fornication. If you're single, it's fornication, it's haram, it's forbidden in Islam to sleep and all this. Keep chaste, keep modest. And if you don't find means, you must keep chaste until Allah makes them free from want out of His grace. So keep chaste until you can marry, you can afford to marry, and you can find your match also. If you haven't found a match as yet, keep chaste. Be modest. All this is really great. I have no problem with it. And neither do you as a Shia, right? This is very, very great. Another point is, why does he here use the word chastity in another way? And he uses the word chastity, but now he uses this word chastity with a different condition. The slave girls or the maids, okay, do not compel them. He uses this, he says this, but when he doesn't say, what have I done here? What has Allah done here? Huh? He has said here already, keep chaste. He's included all those believers. You put slave girls in it. You include anyone in it that you think, according to your school of thought, your elders, and your own even research on the Quran, right? Everything, God, chastity. We went to Surah Araf in the previous verse. I showed you verse 33. No indecency. Indecency is haram, and sin is haram also. Sin is haram. Surah Araf, verse 33. No hidden indecency, no apparent showing of indecency. Not even hidden indecency is allowed. Not allowed. Surah Araf, verse 33. So then, here, you can read all three of the translations here. Shakir, Pictel, Yusuf Ali. And let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste until Allah. Keep chaste. Pictel, keep chaste. I'll just read. Keep chaste. Who cannot find a match, keep chaste. Let those, Yusuf Ali, let those who find not the wherewithal for marriage keep themselves chaste until Allah. Okay. And if any of your slaves ask for a deed in writing, okay, the problem comes here. When they desire chastity, or when they desire to keep chaste, if they desire to keep chaste, if they would preserve their chastity, hope you can see this, that we cannot reconcile with this, the difference in the way it is written. Here God commands. He's saying keep chaste. It says command. And you have to keep chaste. Right? This is the way Arabic, whatever they say, is. This is like a command from God. God doesn't have to put there, this is my command that you keep chaste. But the way they say, Arabic is written, and let those who do not find the means to marry keep chaste. Keep chaste also is very important until Allah makes them free from want out of His grace. Keep chaste. But then why is Allah saying Yusuf Shakir here? Okay. Why is He saying here, your slave girls, when they desire to keep chaste? Can we check? Now I've come here and I just wanted to read because I wanted to find out the chaste, keep chaste. Both words are the same, keeping chaste. Both parts, first part, second part, third part, sorry, first part, last part, right? Surah Nur, Ayat 33. Hello, yes, Shias, I've gone to a Sunni Muslim website, Quran.com, because here I understand word chastity, تحفصنا, and here وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ, and let be chaste. وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ, and here it also says تَبْتَغُوا تَحَفْصُنًا. Here it's put in a different way, chastity. There it says وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ, and let be chaste those who do not find for marriage. Nikah. So we've got here. Thank you, Sunni Muslims, for this easy way to find out. I was kind of scared. I am still scared of the Sunni Muslims. I had to use this website. Let those who do not have the means to marry keep themselves chaste. Yeah, the word chaste is used, both. A translate. Dr. Mustafa Khattab, The Clear Quran. Do not force your slave girls into prostitution. Slave in quotation marks here. Khattab translation. Girls into prostitution for your own worldly gains while they wish to remain chaste. What has happened here? God has already said keep chaste. Now we say no. He's brought prostitution, compelled, zabardasti. Do not compel your slave girls into prostitution while who wishes to remain chaste? While when these are all the same things, conditional. What do you call these in grammar English? Prepositional. While they wish to remain, this is because of a condition. While they wish to remain chaste. Or when they wish to remain chaste, or if they wish to remain chaste. All the same. It brings you, if they do not compel your slave girls into prostitution, ज़बरदस्ती नहीं करना इस औरतों से जो भी कनीज़ हैं या let's see, do not compel, ज़बरदस्ती नहीं करना इनके साथ. الدنيا البغاء تكرهون آتاكم. He has given you which he has given you, and do not compel fatayatikum, your slave girls. Fatayatikum, your slave girls. It says here fatayatikum. I don't know whether the Sunni translation, Shia's Quran doesn't have this what would they say? Where's the Shia Quran translation of like this? Transliteration and organized your slave girls who was lying to us. To prostitution. If they desire tahassunan. Khatam should keep chaste, and if these slave girls, do not compel them. Do not compel these slave girls. I'm just taking the Sunni translation. Do not compel these slave girls. Don't compel them into prostitution. Don't compel them. Khatam should. To gain the worldly, to gain the worldly gains, for your own worldly gains, to gain the worldly gains, for your own worldly gains, while they wish to remain chaste. मुजराए खल्क में इन आँखों ने क्या क्या देखा क्या देखा. Sometimes you just have to pass by very fast. क्या देखा, and then अली अकबर का क्या क्या देखा क्या देखा. So, you see, that was like, keep chaste. That's it. Keep chaste. And do not compel your slave girls into prostitution for worldly gains. Oh, notification. I wonder if you silent vibration heard that. Sorry. Do you see this? But there is for chastity here, with regard to chastity here, in this part of this verse 33 of Surah Nur, it says, while they wish to remain chaste. While they wish to remain chaste. Okay? I'm using Sunni Muslim. While they wish to remain chaste. Dr. Mustafa, can't see from this one. Khattab, the clear Quran translation. Okay, sorry, and this, I'll just close this, open this tab. And here we have, a Muslim cannot satisfy his natural cravings outside marriage. If he cannot afford to maintain, a Muslim cannot satisfy, his natural cravings outside marriage. If he cannot afford to maintain a family, he must wait. All this is Kitab refers to a written instrument, allows a slave to redeem himself on paying a certain amount. This document obliges the master to set his slave at liberty. So Ali commentary does not say this is about mutta, but wait a minute, maids to give them something yourself. No, this is about mutta, but he's explaining every point here. Okay. Kitab, he doesn't say about anything about mutta here, but he says about slaves. Kitab refers to a written instrument which allows a slave to redeem himself on paying a certain amount. This document obliges the master to set his slave at liberty on receiving the agreed amount, which the slave collects either by his labor or by receiving donations from others. See fiqh. Slavery is now obsolete. Islam made it possible to put an end to slavery by enacting laws which, step by step, gave freedom to slaves. See the commentary of Al-Baqarah 177. To set a slave free was considered to be one of the most distinguishing qualities of a believer. The Holy Prophet came with the divine message of Islam. In a world wholly governed by the institution of slavery, a worst form of slavery was the basis of all human activity. All human activity, social, economic, and political. In such a predominantly slave-based system of social order, Islam began to liberate slaves. Islam began to liberate slaves. Very good, very good, very good. Excellent, outstanding quality of Islam. According to Imam Jafar bin Muhammad as-Sadiq, alayhi salatu wa salam, Allahumma alami, it is the duty of a true believer to forego the agreed amount if the slave desires freedom. If the slave desires freedom. Even forego the agreed amount. Just let it go. Although the Imams among the Ahl al-Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam gave freedom to their slaves, but it is a historic fact that most of them refused to leave the service of the Imams. Most of them refused. Even today, the free followers of these Imams, we will say, me too, when I was a Shia, I don't want to leave them. We are Qanis. These Imams feel proud to say that they are the slaves, followers. The free followers of these Imams feel proud to say that we are the slaves, followers of the Imams of the Ahl al-Bayt. Yes, that's true. We are the followers. You can never be free. Khalil Gibran has said, don't let this kind of freedom that you're going after become chains for you. You know, I want to be free, I want to be free. Superficially. So no. Slave to love. Some people say no. I'm in a bond. I love this commitment. I don't want to be a free man. I'm married. I have duties. I'm committed. I have responsibilities here. I have to fulfill them. We don't want to be free. So the reality knocks in, you see. There's no total, complete freedom outside. We have responsibilities. If you are a daughter, you have responsibilities. You are not an individual alone. If you think you can get freedom from your family members, How are you going to earn money for yourselves? Yourself, yeah? You have to work. Otherwise, you will be dependent, a dependent, financial dependent. Someone will take you in their, what do you call those, who financially help you. We are not free outside. We have duties. This is not our life. We are all like, how will you, if you want to be totally free, go out in the jungle, and there also in the jungle, you will have to follow the laws of the jungle, the forest. When night comes, you'll have to go to sleep. Day comes, you'll have to wake up. You have to follow the laws of nature. We are not outwardly free. Although they, okay, finish here. Now comes the great part, right? What is now called the white slave traffic was carried on by wicked people like Abdullah ibn Ubay, who hired 6 women slaves for prostitution. Hired them. He hired them, was carried on by a wicked man. This Abdullah ibn Ubay. Now I'm just saying it in my own words. Ubay. And according to this verse, no more, mm, mm, no more despicable trade can be imagined, even imagined. So it is emphatically condemned, and prohibited. This, women slaves for prostitution. A very wicked man, Abdullah ibn Ubay. Remember this part, Shias? I've done this live stream on Facebook some time ago. Kept doing it. Ali commentary, because this is in black, right? So he's explained it through our Imam's narrations or whatever he has. Imam Jafar, this, Muhammad, and then he went on to say that this part here. What is now called the white slave traffic was carried on by wicked people like Abdullah ibn Ubay. Wicked people. And one was Abdullah ibn Ubay, by wicked people. And like Abdullah ibn Ubay. So one is named here. One wicked person who did this, who hired 6 women slaves for prostitution. He hired them for prostitution. According to this verse, this 33 that I've been reading and explaining, according to this verse, no more despicable trade can be imagined even, can be dreamt about, imagined. So it is emphatically condemned and prohibited, according to this verse. Means in Islam. Come here, we will back. And so here Allah says, keep chaste until Allah enriches you of His grace or out of His grace. Then what does He say here again regarding chastity of these slave girls, maids, or kanis, slaves or maids? Khadims and khadimas, however you may, female khadims and khadimas. But here it says, give them something yourselves out of the means given to you, but force not your maids to prostitution. Females, more safe, I think it talks about, right? Slave girls to whoredom. Picture, before that I was reading Yusuf Ali's translation, and on top is Yusuf Ali. In order to seek slave girls to prostitution, when they desire to keep chaste. When they desire to keep chaste. So you might say, no, but there are, no, you can't. But then I would say, but my dear Shia friend, or my dear Shia brother or sister. I mean, as a Shia, not as apostate. My dear brother, sister in humanity, Shia, I'm an apostate. So, but still, let's just look at this as truth seeker. I have this problem here with this, keep chaste. You see, yeah, here God says, keep chaste. But here God says, when they desire to keep chaste. When they desire to keep chaste. When they desire to keep chaste. Oh, then you will be like, God help you. God help you if you are a Shia. You mean to say Allah here, marry, keep chaste? You mean to say here, Biktal, keep chaste till Allah? You mean to say here to Yusuf Ali translation, keep themselves chaste. Keep chaste. And then you are showing us, because I'm not meaning to say anything, but to show you here what it really means here. Right? I'm not on my own meaning anything, but to show you. There Allah says, keep chaste in the same verse beginning, this part. Keep chaste. What has Allah done? Keep chaste until Allah makes them free from want, out of His grace. Keep chaste. This is very, very, very important. Right? Keep chaste. Keep chaste. Keep chaste. Slowly pondering. I've also pondered over it. Listen to my previous video, audio. Rasullillah. I've got Rasullillah. I've got these people. If you read the last verse, yes, compulsion is prohibited in Islam. Compelling them into prostitution is prohibited. Zabardasti ka is prohibited here, prostitution. Zabardasti इनको prostitute karna is prohibited. Do not force your slave girls. your maids to prostitution. زبردستی نہیں ہے. لیکن مگر پھر لیکن یہ کہ اللہ یہاں کہہ رہے ہیں، اور شاید اللہ تھرڈ پرسن میں ہے، جو بھی آپ سچ والا کا دیکھ سکتے ہیں ویڈیو، تھرڈ پرسن کہ which Allah has given to you. But force not your maids to prostitution. Sorry. جب ان کا ڈیزائر یعنی زبردستی آپ ان میڈس کو نہیں کریں یا سیف گرلس کو انٹو پراسٹیٹیوشن، رنڈی بازی. جب یہ خواہش نہیں کر رہے ہیں، نہیں یہ خواہش کر رہے ہیں کہ چیسٹ رہیں، پاکیزہ رہیں، پاک دامن رہیں. جب یہ خواہش کر رہے ہیں ادھر تو کہا ہے کہ نہ ان کی خواہش ہے، نا ان کی خواہش کیا ہے، کیپ، اللہ نے کہا ہے کیپ دیم سیلف چیسٹ. ادھر کس کی بھی خواہشیں نہیں ہیں یا مرضی نہیں ہے چلتی، بیکاز اللہ نے کہہ دیا ادھر تھرڈ پرسن میں، فورتھ پرسن میں، ففتھ پرسن میں، کس بھی پرسن میں کہ آپ چیسٹ رہیں، آپ پاک دامن رہیں. پھر ادھر آپ کہیں گے کہ پراسٹیٹیوشن کا کمپلشن، زبردستی، compelling them prohibited. It is prohibited. compel کرنا نا، زبردستی ان کو پراسٹیٹیوشن میں ڈالنا، زبردستی ان کو میڈس کو یا سیف گرلز، ابھی ڈفرینٹ ٹرانسلیشن ہیں، مجھے معاف کریں میں کیا کروں. میڈس ہیں، سیف گرلز ہیں، کون ہیں؟ زبردستی کی پراسٹیٹیوشن الاؤڈ نہیں ہے اسلام میں، بیکاز یہاں قرآن کی ورس کہہ رہی ہے، اور یہ بالکل کلیئر ہے ہمارے لیے، یہ بالکل کلیئر ہے، اٹس کمپلیٹلی کلیئر دیٹ نو فورس پراسٹیٹیوشن. اینڈ اٹ ڈزنٹ، دس ورس ٹیلز اس، اینڈ آئی اگری ٹو اٹ کمپلیٹلی 100%. 100% I agree to it. I have no problem with the way this, the command of God is given in this. میں نہیں بولتی ہوں کہ نہیں ادھر یہ نہیں لکھا ہے کہ دس از دا کمانڈ اینڈ دس، نو، بس خدا نے کہہ دیا نہیں، چلے میں شیعہ کا بھی لے لیتی ہوں ٹرانسلیشن وے. آئی مین جو جیسے ادھر لکھا ہے عربک کا کیسے پڑھنا، قرآن کو کیسے لینا چاہیے، آرڈر ہے، کمانڈ ہے. اینڈ ڈو ناٹ، دس اے آرڈر، بس لے لیا، چلیں آرڈر لے لیا، ڈو ناٹ. میں اس پہ کنٹینشن، میں اس پہ آرگیو نہیں کر رہی ہوں، اس پہ میں وہ نہیں لا رہی ہوں کچھ. آئی اگری 100%، نو کمپلشن ہے. اب جو پرابلم یہاں آ رہا ہے وہ when they desire to keep chaste. آپ وائل لگا دیں، اگر یہ لوگ اگر یہ حسرت، اگر یہ چاہتے ہیں کہ یہ پاک دامن رہیں، بات کو آپ سمجھ رہے ہیں، اگر یہ چاہتے ہیں کہ یہ پاک دامن رہیں، زبردستی پراسٹیٹیوشن نہیں، سوری آئی ہیو ٹو یوز پراسٹیٹیوشن ناٹ دیٹ ادر اردو ورڈ. آپ کو ابھی پتہ چل گیا ہوگا کہ وہ یہ پراسٹیٹیوشن کا مطلب کیا ہے نا. سب اتنے تو ایجوکیٹڈ ہیں، all of you are that much educated that you know what is the meaning of prostitution in Urdu, what it means in English. and what is the equivalent of it in Urdu. ٹھیک ہے, تو اس کا تو کوئی وہ ہے نہیں, پرابلم ہے ہی نہیں. پرابلم آتا ہے جب خدا نے ابھی کس نے بھی ادھر لکھا ہے کہ until while, یعنی جب تک یہ لوگ نہیں کہیں, بیکاز ان کو اچھا ایسا بھی نہیں لکھا ہے کہ جب تک یہ لوگ نہیں کہیں, تو چلو ٹھیک ہے ورڈ بائی ورڈ کرتے ہیں اس کو. جب تک, بیکاز نہیں, سنس اردو مگر اگر یہ لوگ چاہتے ہیں پاک دامن رہیں, یعنی ادھر کہا ہے پاک دامن رہو جب تک اللہ, کیپ چیسٹ, پاک دامن رہو, فورنیکیٹ نہیں کرو, کچھ ایسے آؤٹ آف ویڈ لاک میرج, شادی سے پہلے کچھ نہیں کرنا, نکاح سے پہلے کچھ نہیں کرنا, پاک دامن رہو, پاک دامن رہو. اللہ نے کہا ہے پاک دامن رہو. کس نے کہا ہے؟ آستے آستے پڑھتے ہیں نا. کس نے کہا ہے پاک دامن رہو؟ اللہ نے کہہ دیا ہے پاک دامن رہو. اللہ نے کہا ہے لیٹ دوز, آپ لوگ پاک دامن رہیں. کیپ چیسٹ یعنی پاک دامن رہیں. فائنڈ اے میچ, کیپ چیسٹ, پاک دامن رہیں ٹل اللہ گیو دیم. لیٹ دوز ہو فائنڈ ناٹ, پاک دامن رہیں یعنی فورنیکیٹ نہیں کریں, زنا نہیں کریں, یعنی شادی سے پہلے کچھ ایسا کام نہیں کریں, پاک دامن رہیں. جو آپ شادی ہونے سے کر سکتے ہیں, پاک دامن رہیں, پاک دامن رہیں. پھر چیسٹ رہیں, پاک دامن رہیں, فورنیکیٹ نہیں کریں, زنا نہیں کریں. زنا وہ جو سنگل مین کر سکتے ہیں نا, فورنیکیٹ. تو زنا میں اڈلٹری بھی آ جاتی ہے, وہ میرڈ ویمن کا, انگلش میں اس کو اڈلٹری کہتے ہیں, اڈلٹری کہتے ہیں. اور زنا وہ بہت اس میں پتہ نہیں وہ کون سا زنا ہے اور یہ, لیکن انگلش میں اڈلٹری اس کو کہتے ہیں جو میرڈ ویمن, اگر میرڈ ویمن چلی گئی تو اس کو اڈلٹر کہیں گے. اور جس نے میرڈ ویمن, اگر وہ سنگل تھا تو اس کو کیا کہیں گے؟ اڈلٹر, بیکاز انہوں نے ایک میرڈ مین کی عورت کے ساتھ, آئی مین اڈلٹرس کے ساتھ سویا ہے. میرڈ تھی وہ, میرڈ شادی شدہ کو کہتے ہیں اڈلٹری نہیں کرنا ہے. آئی مین وہ اڈلٹری ہو جاتی ہے اگر وہ سوتی ہے دوسرے مرد کے ساتھ. اور آدمی اگر سوتا ہے دوسری عورت کے ساتھ تو وہ شادی شدہ ہوتا ہے, تو وہ بھی اڈلٹرر کہلاتا ہے, فورنیکیٹر نہیں. فورنیکیٹر وہ ہوتا ہے جو سنگل ہوتا ہے, جس کی شادی نہیں ہوئی ہے, who is not married. تو زنا میں پتہ نہیں بہت آ جاتے ہیں, یعنی کیا تو خدا نے وہ زنا کے ورسز ابھی مجھے یاد نہیں ہیں صحیح طرح. I'm not concentrating on them, right? Just a little bit briefly explaining. تو کمپلشن, زبردستی نہیں ہے, بالکل بھی کمانڈ ہے ہی نہیں. یہ پروہیبیشن ہو سکتی ہے اسلام میں ہے, ٹھیک ہے, اتنا مان لیتے بالکل ہے. بیکاز میں تو وہ شیعہ کے تھرو جاتی تھی نا, تو یہ ایک کمانڈ ہو جاتا ہے کہ اللہ نے بول دیا ہے ایسے نہیں کرنا ہے. بولنے کی ضرورت نہیں ہے کہ آئی کمانڈ یو, آئی آرڈر یو, ضرورت نہیں ہے. بس کہہ دیا ڈو ناٹ, اینڈ ڈو ناٹ کمپیل. ڈو ناٹ از این آرڈر فار اس شیعاز. if they and force not, like آرڈر ہو گیا ہمارے لیے, بالکل نہیں کر سکتے. فورس, زبردستی बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर सकते. प्रोहिबिशन आ गई है. ऑर्डर कमांड का लैंग्वेज आ गया है. Force not your slave girls to whoredom, that you may seek enjoyment of the life of the world. यानी तुम लोग फिर दुनिया के उसमें मनी, लाइफ ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, enjoyment यानी तुम लोगों को पैसे वैसे मिले, enjoy करो तुम लोग वर्ल्ड को, इस दुनिया को enjoy करो. If they would preserve their chastity. अगर वो अपनी इज़्ज़त को बचाना चाहते हैं और रखना चाहते हैं अपनी इज़्ज़त, अगर वो अपनी इज़्ज़त रखना चाहते हैं और बचा के रखना चाहते हैं, तो आप उन पे ज़बरदस्ती उनको प्रोस्टिट्यूशन में नहीं डालें. तो देखें, प्रॉब्लम ये है ना, अगर आपको नज़र नहीं आया, प्रॉब्लम ये है, अगर वो अपनी इज़्ज़त बचाना चाहते हैं, जब वो अपनी इज़्ज़त बचाना चाहते हैं, when they desire chastity, वो अपनी इज़्ज़त बचा के रखना चाह रहे हैं. उनकी ये ख्वाहिश है, वो चाह रहे हैं. मैं आपको बस समझाना चाह रही हूँ ना. नहीं, आप देखें यहाँ, तो इधर आप कहेंगे ज़हरा ये तो कीप देमसेल्व्स चेस्ट. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही. इधर प्रोस्टिट्यूशन को ज़बरदस्ती वी कांट डू. यस, हियर कीप देमसेल्व्स चेस्ट. लेकिन इधर क्यों ये चेस्टिटी आया, फिर से देखें, गौर करें. चेस्टिटी, कीप देमसेल्व्स चेस्ट. अच्छा, इधर आपको क्या लगा इधर? How do you see, like how could the Shia ulamas miss this? Shias, how could you miss this? तो इधर ये कह रहे हैं ना कि no way Jose, Obey did it. Women slaves for prostitution. और कंपल्शन पे भी नहीं है. ये नहीं कि इनको फोर्स किया, इनको हायर किया, इनको प्रोस्टिट्यूशन में लगा दिया. अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस वर्स, यानी नो मोर डिस्पिकेबल ट्रेड कैन बी इमेजिन्ड. ट्रेड, सो इट इज emphatically condemned and prohibited. No, आप ये कहें कि compulsion into prostitution, ज़बरदस्ती इनको रंडियां बनाओ, नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. No way Jose. Where is it? I keep losing the... Wait a minute. Shakir is easier. When they desire... yeah. And do not compel your slave girls to prostitution. In order to seek the frail good of this world's life. मैंने क्या मिस किया आपको, आप रियलाइज़ कर रहे हैं? सॉरी, ये जब मैं वीडियो अपलोड करूँगी ये बहुत दूर लगेगा और ये ऐसे मेरा. तो ना, when they desire to keep chaste, एक कंडीशन यहाँ आ गई है. chaste, उधर देखें, Allah desires. इधर no, Allah doesn't desire. Allah has commanded. Sorry, I sometimes make these stupid mistakes. Please overlook them. But see that I'm very serious about this, and I'm right about this. If you can see it, Shias, those lost, misguided by our religious scholars, कि फिर हम ये नोहा पढ़ते ना, ए खैरत मरियम तेरा बाजार में जाना। अल्लाह, अबा कहाँ गई बीबी ज़ैनब की, किसने छीनी? ये किसने बीबियों के सर से चादर किसने छीना है सर से चादर? ये किसने बीबियों के सर से है छीना चादर? ये किसने? इन्नल्लामा साबरीन, इन्नल्लामा साबरीन। रो रो सकीना। और शाम की गलियां रोती हैं। नो, इट्स इन्नल्लामा सकीना। ओके, इट्स flown over my cuckoo's nest. वो पार्ट कहती और शाम इन्नल्लामा साबरीन। ये किसने है मारा पत्थर मेरे भाई के? ये इमाम सज्जाद, इमाम ज़ैनुल आबिदीन। क्यों खींच रही हैं चादर बीबियों के सर से? क्यों खींच रहे हैं चादर? Why are they pulling the veils of the lady, holy ladies? Bibi Sakina is saying. She's only 3 years old. After Karbala, I'm in the aftermath of Karbala. In the aftermath of Karbala. Slave girls to prostitution. I'm not saying prostitution is allowed. Oh, sorry. Sorry. No. But this verse is saying compulsion में नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. It's not allowed. Forbidden. When they desire to keep chaste in order to seek the frail good of this world's life. कैसे sentences में रखा है? आपको लगेगा in order to seek the world's, हाँ, एक चीज़ मिस हो गई इधर. When they desire to keep chaste. क्यों मिस हुई? क्यों ऐसे हुआ? Why did you miss this? Shia alims, Shias, why have you missed this? What made you miss this? What made me miss this? What made me miss this? आप देख रहे हैं? What made us miss this? मैं तो इस पे कर रही थी कि my God, there's no punishment for those who would compel these poor slave girls. I also missed it at one point. Just thinking that Allah says here, and whoever compels them, then surely after their compulsion, Allah is forgiving, merciful. तो जिन्होंने इनको कंपेल किया है, later on you will see, and certainly we have sent to you clear communications. तो ना इस पे अब नहीं, अब जब मैं वापस इस वर्स पे आई हूँ तो वो तो छोड़ें कि इनको क्यों माफ़ करेंगे? वैसे आप देखिए, जब मैं ओ लेवल कर रही थी ना, वाज स्टडीइंग इंग्लिश, proper English, yeah, O level. No, so comprehension मेरी, but okay, not that good, but I could make out that something is wrong. And like, what? Allah doesn't mention a punishment if you compel these prostitutions, and he's saying here, and I didn't even gather, but then when I checked my Shia, my Imam Ali's hadith explanation of this verse, or like, no, But you, where's the, like, پھر تو وہ زنا کی آیت ہم دیں گے نا, زنا کی آیت, اور سورہ اعراف کی آیت لے کے پھر ہم شریعہ کورٹ میں جا کے وہ نا شریعہ بنائیں گے, وہ بنائیں گے نا, لاز بنائیں گے کہ ان کو کیا کرنا چاہیے. یہ جو ریپ, لائک کوئی ریپ کر دے تو اس کے لیے کیا پنشمنٹ ہے, یہ مینشن نہیں کیا گیا ہے شاید. نو فورس نہیں کر سکتے, فورس کس طرح بھی نہیں کر سکتے. ایک ہے, میں نے مس کیا ہے شاید, تو وہ بہت ڈینجرس ہے, ادھر ہم نہیں جا رہے ہیں بیکاز یہ سنی مسلمس بھی آ جاتے ہیں نا ود ورسز ادھر ادھر کہ ماڈسٹی, آنکھیں نیچے رکھو, اور یہ دکھاتے ہیں انڈائریکٹلی مجھے نا کہ ہم اچھا آج ہم ایک سنی ایکس مسلم آ رہے, نو ایک سنی مسلمان آ رہے ہیں, ہم ان کا سنیں گے, ضرور سنیں گے, پھر نا وہ کتنا اچھا ہے, گھر میں رہو, یہ کرو, مردوں کے لیے بھی لوور یور گیزز, بہت اچھا ہے, بہت اچھا ہے. تو تم کیا کہہ رہی ہو, تم نے کیا کہا ہے ادھر؟ میں نے یہ کہا ہے کہ یہ کیوں ادھر چیسٹٹی کے لیے ادھر کا ہے کیپ دیم سیلوز چیسٹ, ادھر کہا ہے وین دے ڈیزائر چیسٹٹی, ادھر کہا ہے کیپ دیم سیلوز چیسٹ اوپر دس پارٹ, ادھر کہا ہے وین دے ڈیزائر چیسٹٹی. فرق ہے, ادھر کہہ رہے ہیں جیسے اللہ کہہ رہا ہے let those who find not the wherewithal for marriage keep themselves chaste. یہ ہم نے لے لیا, آرڈر ہے, اللہ کا آرڈر ہے, until Allah gives them means out of his grace. ہم نے یہ آرڈر لے لیا ہے, اللہ سے یہ کمانڈ لے لیا ہے, ہم نے یہ آرڈر لے لیا ہے, taken a command from the Lord. We have taken it, we Shias have taken it as a command, as an order from our Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ہم نے یہ کمانڈ لے لیا ہے, آرڈر لے لیا ہے اللہ کا, taken it as an order of God, keep themselves chaste. یہ ہم نے مس کر لیا, ہائے ہائے ہائے, alas, when they desire chastity. ادھر تو ہم نے آرڈر لے لیا, کمانڈ لے لیا, ادھر بھی ہم نے کہہ دیا کہ یہ پراسٹیٹیوشن فورسفل prohibited ہے, ادھر بھی ہم نے کمانڈ لے لیا, yourselves out of the means which Allah has given to you, but force not. ہم نے کمانڈ لے لیا, ہم نے آرڈر لے لیا, ہم نے prohibit کر لیا, ہم نے حرام قرار کر دیا, but force not your mates to prostitution. We have prohibited it, we have taken it as an order. No forcing of maids into prostitution. We Shias took it as an order, command of Allah in this verse. But when they desire chastity, alas, idhar my Shias missed this. My Shias missed when they desire chastity. Idhar Allah ne likha hai, agar like Shia ke through, okay, not third person or anything, just this is the divine word of God. These are the divine laws of God. These are the divine commands of the Lord. ہم نے یہ لے لیا, keep themselves chaste. میرج سے پہلے کچھ ایسا سونا وونا, کسنگ وسنگ, ہاتھ لگانا نہیں کرنا, اپنی عزت کو محفوظ رکھنا, دامن بچا کے رکھنا, دامن اپنا بچا کے رکھنا, جب تک اللہ آپ کو انرچ نہیں کرے, اپنی عزت بچا کے رکھنا. کوئی مرد آپ کو ہاتھ نہیں لگائے, ہاتھ نہیں لگانے دینا, ہماری بیویاں ہاتھ نہیں لگانے دینا, do not, بالکل بھی نہیں. Don't let any man touch you. Don't let any man touch you. No man should touch a woman. آؤٹ آف ویڈ لاک. جب تک شادی نہیں ہو نکاح نہیں ہو. جب تک نکاح نہیں ہو رخصتی ہو سکتی ہے، لیکن نکاح ہو گیا بس آپ اپنی وائف کو کس کر سکتے ہیں، ہاتھ لگا سکتے ہیں. ہم نے یہ آرڈر لے لیا، کمانڈ لے لیا. بٹ اللہ سلاس ہم شیعوں نے یہ کیسے مس کر لیا؟ when they desire chastity. ادھر اللہ نہیں کہہ رہا ہے، ادھر اللہ نہیں کہہ رہا ہے کہ keep chaste, keep themselves chaste. They should keep themselves chaste. ادھر اللہ کہہ رہا ہے کہ کمپیل تو نہیں کرو میڈس کو یا سلیو گرلز کو، لیکن ان کے ہاتھ میں ہے. یہ اگر ڈیزائر کرتے ہیں، ان کی اگر خواہش ہے عزت دار رہنے کی، عزت دار رہنے کی، عزت دار رہنے کی، اللہ تو اس پہ now if they want to keep chaste, if they want to keep chaste, if they want to keep chaste, my English scholars help me. If they want to keep chaste, اللہ تو میں نے کیا میں نے تو یہ دیکھا، ادھر یہ بالکل صاف لکھا ہے if they want to keep chaste. if they want to keep chaste، ادھر لکھا ہے keep themselves chaste. ادھر یہ کیوں لکھا ہے ان پہ if they want to keep chaste؟ رسپانسبلٹی ان پہ آئی ہے، ہائے ان میڈس پہ آئی ہے، ان سلیو گرلس پہ responsibility has come on them. if they desire to be chaste، اگر یہ عزت دار رہنا چاہتی ہیں. اگر آپ کو ابھی تک سمجھ میں نہیں آئے تو میں اب جا کے اپنا میرا تو سر ویسے بھی کریکٹ ہو گیا ہے بہت، تو میں بریک لے رہی ہوں. تھینک یو سو مچ. واپس آؤں گی شاید.